Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Tailgate Show. We're going to be breaking down the final game of the season versus the Vikings. Really excited about this one, guys. How about you?
This is the end. My one true friend, the end.
Oh, my God. We're already going to end this episode with the way you're singing, bro.
Dude, they actually
All
kind
right.
of had like a little bit of Johnny Cash voice in there. I'm actually impressed here. That wasn't half
Oh,
bad.
my God. Sorry about that.
You must be on some good stuff tonight, Biscuits. I'm impressed by that.
I'm just better than I could fucking sing.
Nah, man. I mean, the wind was taken out of the sails up to Vikingville, I guess, because, man, when Justin on COVID protocol the day after he was named the starter. Like, that just kind of, I was like, I don't want to talk about this
COVID
now.
or kind of, no, Nagy, you don't get to play with them anymore.
It's kind of a balance, man, because, like, if it really is COVID, I don't want to go hard in the paint that they're trying to cover up something. Like, I hope he's okay and he gets through it all right. It's kind of touchy because I don't know if NFL teams are actually pulling that to do stuff like that. I hope not. I hope they're not taking advantage of that illegitimately. Like, what's the point?
Wouldn't surprise me. After another team today was offering $10K hush money.
That was kind of a different situation than not
Wow.
playing a guy.
I'm just saying it's
You
the
could say his ankle was hurt and not even talk about him being a starter. You didn't have to go there. But yeah, Antonio Brown we'll talk about later. That dude's just like he's off the Yelzabub, bro. Like,
As soon as he dyed his mustache blonde, it was over for him. I knew there was no.
we
coming
just
back
didn't
from
when he kicked that dude in the chest against Cleveland when he was on the Steelers.
that.
That was badass.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Oh, sure, we were like, it's badass, but like, who the fuck does that? Like, that should have sent off signals back then.
With the punter? When he's on the return and he drop kicks the punter?
Who the hell kicks another player in the chest like that? But what I'm saying is that he's out of his mind, and we failed to see it. The Steelers cover up. But let's not get into it because I don't think Roethlisberger earned all that glory he got. Pissed me off too. The Steelers are very good at keeping shit very quiet. That's all I'll say. For Antonio, imagine having that guy that long and keeping all this wackiness under wraps.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. But anyway, back to kind of like Fields out. You don't know, Jerry? You think they're messing around with that?
I don't know. I mean, I got a feeling they don't really want him to coach Fields anymore. I really feel like that ship sailed.
You think it's Nagy, or you think it's ownership saying like, no, we're not going to have you put him out there and have him fail in your system while we're going to try to bring in a new head coach?
I would think it would be on ownership for that one. If this is the hypothetical that we're talking about, the hypothetical speak would be as ownership. You're like, no, dude, you're done. You fucked him up enough.
And if it's ownership making that call, I feel a lot better about that because that means Ryan Pace is about to be out the door.
That's interesting.
All right,
here we go.
it pains me to like give any
Perfect
credit,
segue.
We've always gone hard in the paint with the blog, right?
Right.
And I know his A-Rob stuff was wrong, and I know people give him tons of shit, and it partly is the way
We do too.
he has a tone to his shit. This has been years of being on Twitter, right? So sometimes it comes off really pompous, and I'm not one to talk because I have that way too.
You?
What?
You?
No.
Man, that's
But-
a shocker.
Dude, whatever. Twitter's just like go hard in the paint. I mean, we used to go really hard in the paint. We've toned down in our older age, but the guy he went on the Irish Bear show, and like if the A-Rob shit getting that wrong, sure, okay, he got it wrong, but like he wasn't going super hard in the paint like on that pod. For him to come out and say the things he did, it's if he's wrong, he's gonna get absolutely hammered on Twitter again. I don't know why he'd want to put himself through that, but it is attention. But Man, he basically he's saying Pace and Nagy are out the door. Nagy knew last Monday. He claims to have a source that's leaving the team anyway. So it's like I don't know how legit it is. I liked what I heard, so I want it to be right. And I guess that's
Yeah.
the trap, right? So like I want Pace gone, I want Nagy gone. So it sounds good to me. I hope he is right this time. And I mean, not a fan of the way he comes off all the time.
No.
But honestly, I hope the dude's right, man. Like I'm trying not to actually get excited.
Well, let's just take it for what it is. I mean, it's a guy on a podcast that, claims that he knows people. And what did he say? What did he say that was so rattling and jarring about the situation?
All reports from legitimate people that do this professionally have said that Pace is staying. It's been brought up. All Chicago media, basically. Like for the most part, right? Am I wrong here? Like everything
No,
I'm
you're
hearing
right.
and everything I'm hearing
Seems legit.
nationally. Pace is staying or Pace is getting promoted, and these are from much more established people. So that's surprising to me to hear that one person saying he's gone. But again, it's tough because the Twitter culture with him, it's tough to know. But I like what I heard. So I actually want him to be right, and if he is, I'll give him credit, man, because nobody else is talking about that. So it's like,
How
I
much
don't
of
know.
this do you think is like logical deduction based on probability of most likely scenarios? I mean, I think anybody, and I'm not saying him specifically.
Right.
I've given him a hard time. I want him to be right because I've been wanting Pace fired since 2019. I just think when you see a lot of these source, season tweets on Twitter, it's, most of the times it's, okay, this is a highly likely probability, and we can just put a tweet out there that's just vague enough where if it happens, we look smart. If it doesn't happen, here's my potential out.
I think where this is different is he sounds rather specific. Which for him is a complete kind of shift. So, take it with a grain of salt. That's what I would tell you. But maybe there's something to it.
And AA is probably like chomping at the bit right now to like, if he is tuning in for the couple minutes.
Nah, he ain't fucking.
He's about to hop in and go at it.
I don't know. This might be this might be one of the 10-minute marks that he actually listens to on the preview pods. So
this
maybe
season's
we
gone.
caught it early enough.
This season's gone so bad. I want the blog to be right.
Yep.
That's where I'm at, and that's a pretty crazy place that I thought I'd never be.
Well, that's because the good news of the franchise would outweigh someone who we've ripped on consistently being right. I mean,
wouldn't it be wild if he was right though, and like all the media was getting it wrong?
Yeah, that's where it gets fuzzy at.
I've seen a couple others come out and say Pace is not as secure. I mean, I don't know what we're taking away from Jarrett Payton's comments today when he tweeted Waddle and Sylvie.
What did he say?
He tweeted them and said that he spoke to a prominent former NFL head coach who's still well connected in circles.
Harbaugh, right?
Well, didn't say who, but basically said that if they retain Pace, there's no way we're getting a big time head coach. Which I think is pretty much stating the obvious again. Yeah, it's logical. It states the obvious.
Unless it was Sean Payton.
But I think okay, go ahead, finish your statement now.
I think Payton might be the only guy that will come in, and because Payton knows him, and he'd be basically doing whatever Sean wanted to have done.
Correct.
Yeah. The point is most of your big name coaches are probably going to want a lot of control that a GM's not going to be willing to give up.
At least the ability to choose their own GM. Yeah, I agree.
And as you pointed out so aptly Monday, he was man enough to basically say, we're taking Mitch Trubisky. I don't give a shit what my coach thinks. Do you think any other coach is going to respond to that? He did that to Foxy. Foxy's a guy that's been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's probably who he talked to. That was probably the NFL head coach.
Monkey.
I know. Fox is who he is. But
Hey, man. He's a football coach.
He was still a hell of a coach in his career.
2018 never happens without John Fox.
The Giants made the Super Bowl with Fox on the staff. I think he was the defensive coordinator, right?
Yep.
And that's kind of that was a helpful piece to that team back then.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I actually hope he's right. And I'm surprised at myself for saying it. Like I didn't know.
Oh, you're gonna kick yourself if he's wrong. You're gonna be like,
no, I'm not
that guy.
I said I want him to be right. I didn't say this is etched in stone.
No,
stuff.
absolutely not.
I'll be shocked if he's right. From everything we've been kind of hearing, I just haven't. Some big, like I said, some people that have usually got a really good pulse of the team professionally have been saying that he's staying. So I don't know, man. It's going to be wild. I mean, at least as shitty as things have gone, at least we have something to look forward to on Monday. That's kind of where we're at.
True. Well, I think Monday's kind of been a foregone conclusion in all of our minds. I think most, at least the three of us, I think we all kind of sense that it's the end of the road for Nagy, but we sense it with cautious optimism, because this ownership team will do whatever the hell they want when they want.
And they love pace. I mean, I do agree with AA. He's made that point a lot to us that them firing Pace would pretty much be admitting everything that they said wasn't the case a year ago. And I do think there is a little bit of we don't want to admit that we were dead flat out wrong when everybody else told us we were. But I also definitely think that we haven't had a clean sweep GM coach in how long? Because when they brought Emery in, Lovey was retained for a year. And then, I guess it was Pace and Fox then.
Angelo?
Well, it would have been Pace and Fox, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because Pace and Fox came in that same year.
Yeah.
In 15. Okay.
Well, we all kind of thought, though, too, that maybe Pace didn't really have much say-so in that coaching decision, which would have gave him wiggle room for another hire after Nagy. At least that was in my head.
It's so fucked.
I don't know how much I believe that now, though. That's what we were hearing. But like, if that was the case, then how was Pace able to pull off what he did with drafting Mitch without Fox knowing? Like, that's not a move that a GM under an established coach's thumb makes.
Well, I think the whole theory has always been that when he was hired, he was a young GM, so they wanted to pair him with a veteran guy. He didn't draft Mitch until year 3 of Fox. So maybe they determined at that point, hey, he's 3 years on the job now. Maybe he, balls in your court, bud. But I think he's also learned from that too. I mean, everything that they've preached about collaboration, I hate Ryan Pace, but I don't see him going rogue like that anymore. And I think to a fault now, because now you've seen him reach for guys that Nagy has handpicked instead of being that ultimate decision maker.
I mean, the record's bad.
It's terrible.
The time he's
correct
under Pace's reign at GM, the record's bad. The cap situation. I mean, how many players are going to free agency?
We'll have 28 players under contract. There's 5 more that are listed on the salary cap, but they're under void years, like Jimmy Graham.
So we have 24 players we need to sign with $43 million. That's where Pace has us.
Correct. Yep. Brutal.
It's not good, man. Like I don't care what he did at Halas Hall. To have an organization like if that see, that's another thing. If that shit like that's true when you're running a multi-billion-dollar industry, that they did a nice job hiring a contractor and picked out nice colors for the walls. As a guy that's supposed to be bringing in football players and helping you win, like that's not what you hired him for. You didn't hire him to be a freaking like extreme home makeover motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like it just, man, like I want him out the fucking door.
Yeah, I've been wanting it since 2019 when I was being called a Ballard fanboy.
And, he'll be remembered for drafting Fields when Fields blows up. There it is, Pace. That's what, and that's huge. But
Yeah.
I just want a fresh set of eyes, man.
And that's a good. And I think as an ownership team, that's exactly what they should want. You saw what happened with Nagy. You've seen what happened with Pace. It's time to switch it up.
It is because they did it once again. This organization did it wrong. They don't. George is just the son of the owner who used to run the ticket office. Yes, he got a good education. I'm sure he's a smart person in some aspects of life, but it's not football. You got an accountant that basically is the brains behind the operation because it's a mom and pop show.
Yeah.
And the accountant has more power than he should because he knows the financials way better than they do. So it's just, and then you bring in a young head coach and a young GM and expect them to be able to run the football side of the whole show with nobody to even go to for guidance. Sure, they brought in some like veteran coaches for him, Childress as an advisor for Nagy, but there was nobody there for Pace to lean on. And that's because this organization's not structured properly.
Would you look at a cleaning of the house as maybe some changes in ownership stand? If you can follow my thought here,
Restructuring.
That would be a complete runaway from what they said last year.
There'll be no changes in ownership.
No, but is that maybe more the minority owner saying, "Hey, this is a bunch of shit. You guys need to really switch this up."
The McCaskies are the minority.
Well, who's the majority owner?
I'm sorry, the majority owner.
Yeah, but what if what I'm saying is that more the minority ownership getting their voice heard in this case?
It's a good question. I don't think so. Ultimately,
nah, man. I don't know what it would be ignorant for me to speak on because I don't know the breakdown of who owns what. I don't think. Do you think it's
right? I'm not sure what the percentages are. But Josh in the chat goes, "There's going to be a sale sooner or later."
It's possible, man. I mean, Virginia. Happy birthday, Virginia, and everything. But 99, yeah.
Like 99.
And there's some funky stuff with the family trust, right? About how that gets passed on whenever she passes.
Right.
There are some current issues outstanding there that they have to fix.
You're a legality paperwork research guy, so
you're Mr. Paperwork.
Oh boy, that's not good.
No, it's terrible.
That is not it. I couldn't even remember to play the audio to start a show. I don't think we want us handling our.
Yeah, I have no idea how the trust is set up.
I thought I had read last year at some point that they still have to set something up to where it doesn't automatically go to Pat Ryan for the right of first refusal. I think is how it's currently structured. So if Virginia were to pass, he would have the option to buy out to be majority owner at that point. As of a year ago.
I think for the money they've all invested, what they would sell this team for would take care of everybody.
Yeah.
But
where do they go from there, though?
Who? The people that sold the team?
Yeah, like the McCaskies. Like we've always talked about this. They don't have their hands in any other business. I mean, yeah, cashing out would be nice for a lot of people, but
you're talking billions of dollars. I don't think they have to go anywhere but a beach somewhere and some beautiful island.
Some people, yes. Some people like you and I, maybe, but
biscuits on an island. That's scary.
Roasting steaks, drinking Coronas.
Looking at the ocean and screaming like a bitch.
No,
but Josh, I wanted to pose that because I feel like, the purchase of Arlington is completely, the purchase of Arlington is completely out of pocket.
The new owner's just going to have freaking George take over for Larry Mayer. He'll be part of the team.
Oh, God. Well, you got lunch with Larry. What would
I'm sure the McCaskey
what would George's bit be?
They'll still have a presence in at the games. I'm sure they're still going to be heavily following the team if they sell it.
Grub with George.
Possibly. Go Bears. He's
Grubhub
actually,
with George.
he's actually like a pretty down to earth. Like I met him at the 100 year. He was standing outside talking to fans, like signing autographs, taking pictures. Like really friendly dude for how high up the food
He
chain
likes
is.
that celebrity part of it, though. Too,
He would walk in South Lot all the time.
Yeah, he's actually like a real dude. I just don't think I think he's in way over his head. He's a fan that's running an NFL organization. It's crazy.
God, could you imagine if Bears Twitter ran the Bears organization?
Shockingly, I feel like it would be better run than what it
Right now,
currently
I
is.
think it would be. You're right.
But that's, I mean,
That's why when people make the argument real quick, Diddy, I'm sorry, but when people
No,
make
go
the
ahead.
argument that, well, the McCaskies don't care about winning, they absolutely care about winning. I mean, if you hear George talk, you can tell he wants to win. They're just inept. They don't know how to.
oh, dude, I think Nagy's probably a great person.
Yeah.
Like he's probably a super nice dude to be around and chill with. He's probably cool as fuck, right?
Hey, let me take you up to our playroom.
Yeah, I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna sit here. That's where it's like, dude's a nice guy. It sucks that it didn't work because it would have been cool to see it work with him. He is a cool dude. The players like him. Like it would have been nice to actually see this play out and see this offense click in and all that shit. But it's not happening. George is a nice guy too. The shit's not working with nice guys.
Correct.
I'm not saying bringing an asshole just to be opposite, but you need an alpha somewhere in this building, and it needs to happen with this coaching hire and this GM hire. You need guys that are gonna handle their business and basically put this team. I mean, these two hires, man, they're important. Like, and I heard grumblings from the Irish Bears pod about potentially, and this makes sense if this were to happen, is Ted's just out of the communication chain, and the GM would go straight to the owner. So, but that's
I don't like that structure either, though.
sure. Maybe they'll bring in somebody in the background.
Would you rather them talk to Ted first?
I'd rather have them bring a Ted president,
No.
a team president in that has that. You know, I wouldn't mind if Pauline was the team president. I know he's old, but God, who would you rather have sitting in that spot? Freaking Pauline or Ted?
Bill for sure.
Even if it's a former GM that is a senior advisor to the GM, I don't care what they label it. There just needs to be a correction there. I wouldn't mind Pauline being the top football guy to go to instead of George, and let George kiss babies and sign autographs and make sure the checks are cashing.
Yeah, if Bill's not doing like day-to-day, drafting, scouting, stuff like that, I would have no problem with that.
Right. I don't. I mean, at this point, if it's somebody with experience in the world of football. Oh God, dude. Patrick was telling me he's still an advisor behind the scenes in Baltimore, though. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, yeah, he is, but you just hand him a big blank check and say, "What do you want?" Everything could be so simple.
Yeah, but it may not be like that, though.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are with that. But another thing that's kind of,
maybe you're right, Jer.
Even Cap came out with a video talking about the Harbaugh stuff might have legs.
Yeah.
Kind of. Those weren't his exact words. But like he might be a realistic option, basically.
I'm starting to come around to that more and more. Wouldn't be my first top choice, but I would definitely. We could do a hell of a lot worse. I would take it.
I would too.
Yes.
I would too. But I just don't. I personally don't see it happening, and I've been wrong before, man. But
I mean, if you can't get a Harbaugh with a Ryan Pace, though. That's the whole point.
Which is even more the reason I would take it.
That's why I'm fired. I do want him fired on Monday so bad, bro.
Dude, I want him fired more than Nagy. I think replacing Pace is way more of a critical decision than replacing Nagy. As bad as Nagy is, but
Pace is our new Lovey, though, in the sense that the defense has worked since he's been here, but the offense hasn't, and you brought the head coach in that was supposed to be the offensive guru.
Yeah,
you could actually argue that the defense hasn't worked. You could actually argue the defense really hasn't worked, though.
With the exception of maybe not, I think it has.
Right.
I think of recent. You got to consider how bad the offense has been on this defense.
True.
Yeah.
They're never in a spot where they can pin their ears back with this offense. Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Very true.
Like, you can't play like winning, closing out game defense when your shit's on the line constantly.
And because of all the mistakes on offensive personnel, now you're starting to see positions on defense that have suffered because the capital and resources are not there to address that, because now we're trying to fix one whole side of the ball at once.
It's
I think
been
the method is
regressing.
secondary. Yeah, 100%.
Like you brought up in the chat, and I hate to do that and talk over you, Biscuits,
No,
but
you're good.
it's regressing because what defense can hold up to an 18 level when the offense that was supposed to pick itself up the following year and the year after, and we're going to be at what we're at, 1-on-1, all the bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It never happened. Do you know how, especially veteran guys, you can't stress a defense like that where you're not even putting enough points for their effort, like constantly.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
It's going to regress. Like you need that offense to pick up. Like if we had a good offense,
Yeah.
even like in top 15 offense, we'd be in the playoffs, man.
Right. And this, like
Yeah.
Josh brings up in the chat, they're not getting any younger. You're absolutely right. We're getting somewhat younger in spots, but the youth has to actually produce more. And I think you've seen some signs of that the last 2 weeks, but they're also against weaker opponents. So, I mean, I don't know how much stock you put into that. You know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, 2019, 2020 drafts and the 2021 draft, they haven't really taken any high defensive players in the top 3-4 rounds.
No, and the offensive players that they got on, like, the line, you know, Hambright and Simmons.
The Chavius, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get into those lower picks, you know, you got to try to find some gems. But I agree, the drafting process has not been the best on either side of the ball, quite honestly.
And that's what pisses me off. Like, if it was Dalton starting this whole season, you know we would have been in similar territory.
Yeah. So what's the point?
The point is we have Nick Foles already. Pace brings in Dalton. Like, really think about that. It's
After
not,
you,
there's not much of a difference there in the whole scheme of things. Dalton is not a huge upgrade to Foles.
The only argument you can get on that is that they didn't think Justin Fields was going to be available, and when they were, it put them in a good bind.
Yeah,
Dalton,
but I think
they didn't even allow Dalton to challenge Foles. Let's not even talk about Justin.
Right.
There was no challenge from Foles to Dalton. Like, you got to be shitting me. There should have been they had a fucking 50-person kicker competition, but you can't have 3 quarterbacks battling it out. What the fuck is wrong? This is what I'm talking about. This is an issue. I want this shit cleaned out. I want to start fresh, bro.
Yeah, and it's coach and GM collaborating. So each one of them has to own it.
Yeah.
So we do have a game, though.
I just don't want this motherfucker. Like, Pace is a big part of this fucking problem too. He brought Mitch in.
He's the biggest part of the problem.
The guy that you risked it all for, you didn't surround well enough. All right, that's on you, Pace, for not bringing the guys to. You're really responsible for making the big decisions you make work. And
the guys that you did bring in that played well, you didn't keep. See Charles Leno getting another 3-year extension in Washington. See Adrian Amos in Green Bay.
What I don't like too is we've already seen what Pace was willing to throw Justin into.
Yep.
I don't want this dude around Justin either. I don't want Pace here. I don't want Nagy here. They look what they put him. The first game they put him in. Are you shitting me? You're lucky that kid wasn't broken that game. My God, a rookie quarterback going into that shit show, like,
right?
Fuck, man. Like, I want Pace gone too. This is a problem with both these guys. I want a reset, man. Like, I hope it happens one day. I'll be happy as shit.
Well, we'll find out after the game Sunday. I think we'll find a lot out quickly after the last
business. I don't know about you, bro. I'm gonna be so disappointed if Pace is here after the dust settles, man. I
think he's more of a problem than Nagy. I think if you're allowed, well, because hear me out. My reasoning is if I had to choose one to fire, I'm firing Ryan Pace, because if not, you're allowing him to hire another head coach and you're tying yourselves to him for another 2 to 3 years minimum.
We're
I would
doing
much
a-
prefer another
we're-
GM to come in, have 1 year evaluation with Nagy, and find out he's not the guy, kick him to the curb. At least it's only a 1 year setback as opposed to the next 2 or 3 with Pace.
The only
F
person-
Mary Kill? Is this what this is? The F Mary
Pretty
Kill of the
much.
Chicago Bears.
No, see, the only person I wouldn't mind staying, just I could see this happening if something crazy like Harbaugh were to get here, right?
I
And
can see two
Vic-
guys
Vic-
staying.
Vic doesn't want to be the DC, but he puts a good word in for Desai because that was one of his guys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if Desai stayed on with a guy like Harbaugh coming in here. I didn't say that he wouldn't be forced to do that, but I think out of respect for Vic, if Vic vouches for him, I could see that happening in a very hypothetical world of Harbaugh actually taking the job.
Yeah.
But
Chris Tabor.
I want Nagy gone just because Nagy was Pace's decision. I just want a new. You don't bring in. I want them both gone, man. God, I want them both gone.
Yeah, I mean, you said Desai. I'm going to say Desai and Tabor. You could make it. The argument could be made for both.
Yeah, I just don't. Harbaugh's pretty connected in the special team world, so I don't think he's going to retain too many coaches.
Those would be two names though that I wouldn't be upset if they were back. If the new coach determined, hey, I want to keep these guys on, okay, I wouldn't lose sleep over
That we know of. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know every position.
But the
coach
quality
or
of
whatever.
candidate increases with a both clearing of the house. If you're only firing the one, I just really question how many coaches are going to want to come here and coach under Ryan Pace unless they're given significant.
Unless you got a Sean Payton coming, like
that's
Sean
it.
Payton, a Jim Harbaugh, somebody that's going to get whoever they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And most head coaches are going to clean house and bring their guys in anyway. Same with GMs. GMs are going to clean house and be like, you're our coach. Bring your people in. So one of the names, since we haven't talked about the Minnesota game, we won't talk about it yet.
I'll talk
One of the
about
names
the
that-
GM names he spit out there too. Sorry.
There's
Later.
one in particular that you could pair with a head coaching candidate that was very interesting to me. And that's Buffalo. With Dable,
So
you do Dable, you could do Frazier, I guess. Frazier's out there, right?
he is.
But the GM, who's the GM for Buffalo the name was thrown around?
He's not a GM. I don't know if he's a pro personnel guy or a college scout. Was it Gaines or something like that? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
From Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's only got $9 million in cap space next year.
Right. What I would say is that's a team that
It's a problem.
recognized Josh Allen needs talent around him. What did that team do? They went out and they put talent around him. They went out and got Diggs. They helped the line out. They built a good defense around him so he's not on the field all the time.
Don't you
The
wanna see
offensive
what they
line's
do?
pretty good.
Don't you want to see what they do in the playoffs? So they were first round exit last year, right?
Who, Buffalo?
Mm,
Yeah.
AFC Championship game.
Oh,
So
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Buffalo did, yes. The year before they were a first round exit. So
that might be
that's
somebody.
the model right there is Brandon Beane, by the way. I'm tired of the Ryan Pace protectors saying, well, he had to rebuild that horrible roster those first 3 years. You can't expect him to win. Brandon Beane came in there. There's not a single player that remains on that roster from when he took over. 2 out of the first 3 years he was GM, they had a winning record. That's already better than Pace. They had 2 postseason appearances in those 2 years. And they've already won 2 playoff games and been to an AFC title game. And he was hired 2 years after Ryan Pace. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about, well, he had to rebuild a whole terrible roster. So did Brandon Beane. Not a single player remains from when he took over.
sure.
That's the
So
model.
here's the model's also hitting on the quarterback you draft. Because
And developing, yeah.
he's a top 5 quarterback right now. I didn't say all time. I didn't in the league currently, he's top 5.
Yeah.
That's every team that's leading their division has a top quarterback in this league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you could say that.
Maybe not every division, but most of the teams that
Most
are
of them.
in first place
Well,
have a
AFC.
franchise
Let's go
QB.
division by division.
I don't know if you
AFC.
want to say Mac Jones has arrived yet, but he is playing very
Is it
well.
Buffalo in
as a
first
rookie.
place?
No,
Buffalo's
Allen.
in first place.
oh, did Buffalo take over?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I
AFC
stand
North's Buffalo, Josh Allen. AFC
Yeah.
South.
Henry makes up for a lot of.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's there.
They've
Yeah,
got
but
they've got a
he's been out
franchise.
for what, 7 weeks?
They've got a
Tannehill's been
real
running that.
elite running back.
Joe Burrow in
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yep, Mahomes with the Chiefs.
Mahomes with the Chiefs. NFC.
Rodgers in our division.
Fuck
Rodgers,
that guy.
Dak Prescott,
Dak Prescott, Tom
Matt
Brady.
Stafford, Lord Brady.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, there's something to it.
That's what I'm saying. So like, hitting on a quarterback, man, it makes the whole world better. The league is set up for quarterbacks to succeed like never before. So when you find one of the top ones, you're golden.
Right.
This is an offensive league, man. You need that field general. Hopefully it's Fields for us, but like that doesn't, when he drafted Mitch and didn't surround him correctly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to go.
Absolutely.
Off season is so huge for Fields.
Well, that and let's also throw some shade at Mitch too, though. He had opportunities to make things better and didn't with his play.
True.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of missed layup passes. I would agree with that.
Taylor Gabriel got sawed in half repeatedly because of Mr. Trubisky throwing him out there to the wolves.
I wish we had those guards here when Fields was for Fields this year. What was it?
Oh,
Sitting
God.
Long.
Yeah. The tackles sucked, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So man, I'm hoping Monday's big for us, dude.
Right. So we got a game Sunday, though, Vince, the Vikings. First team to have a 3,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher, and a 1,000-yard receiver and not make the playoffs. Womp, womp, womp.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins coming off of COVID list.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for that. Anything else you got to add there, Biscuits?
That's about
What's
all. I
what's
think
the
you covered it,
injury
Jared.
report like?
We
What's
told
the
you how
injury
interested in this game we were.
Right.
No, sorry. I was actually looking down and saw like a really depressing stat.
Oh, God. Just say
if I
that.
if I can just interject real quick, okay?
Oh, fuck. Here we
'Cause
go.
we're talking about-
Make him the big screen.
Talking about Nagy. So with a win on
Is
Sunday.
this time out? Is this story time?
No, it's not story time yet. That's gonna come later. But with a win.
biscuits, dropped in fire stats, son.
Oh wow, what an intro! Thank you. So with a win on Sunday, Matt Nagy's .538 win percentage would be the third highest in the post George Halas era. Third highest, tied with Dick Duran with 35 wins. There's your biscuit sad stat of the week. Third highest.
I knew his winning percentage would be up there because, quite honestly, most of our coaches have sucked historically, with the exception of Lovey
And Lovey.
and Duran. Duran had a few.
And Mike. I mean, yeah, Duran. He'd be tied with Duran for third.
Lovey's up on the list all time, right?
Dick,
Yeah,
no,
Lovey
I
would
think he had a couple of shit years though.
He did, but I think since post George Halas, Lovey is number 2 in win percentage.
Right.
Nagy and Duran would be tied for third.
I don't know. I never felt this bad after a Lovey season.
There was a couple of shit years there.
2007 was rough, but that's just because the expectations were so high coming off that Super Bowl. I don't think it wasn't like we had reached apathy. Like we were still fully committed and excited.
We didn't have that rookie quarterback we all really wanted to succeed either, though. Like
True.
this was rough to
True.
watch this year, man.
Yeah. Did you all see that side by side today that Brandon Shagru put up of the rookie seasons of Mitch and Justin? I hate to even bring it up, but it was soul crushing. It really was to see like almost how near identical the stats were. Justin had a little bit more rushing yards. Completion percentage was just a smidge lower than Mitch's. A couple more picks. Just really just brought. I mean, and that 2017 team was terrible on offense. He was throwing to what was that dude who came over from Pittsburgh? It was Kendall Wright was our leading receiver.
Oh,
Marcus
shit.
Wheaton.
Marcus Wheaton. He had two catches. He was on that Jimmy Graham plan.
Terrible. So
They weren't letting Mitch do much until Detroit either.
Right.
Josh said, "Let's not go back to the Rex Grossman days." I would have been known as a Rex Grossman truther if Twitter was around back then. I was definitely
He threw a good deep ball.
Dude, him and Berrien had an awesome deep ball connection.
Berrien was really good though. He was even good in Minnesota for a couple of games too. So anyway,
this is where they got us, bro. We still got one game left, and we're talking about Bernard Berrien.
yeah. Who played for both the Bears and the Vikings?
I was pissed when B
Full circle.
That I liked him. He was one of my favorite players.
Me too. Coming out of Fresno State.
I've got his autograph helmet up on the shelf.
Hell yeah. Be twice can bring it.
Yeah, he was my dude.
What's the injury report look like there, Biscuits? Let's get back on track.
Full screen him.
Oh, don't stop full screening me, man. Jesus.
Hey, Biscuits, do you have that the injury report?
I got some injury reports. So let's cover the Vikings. Did not participate. Cornerback Chris Boyd, ribs. Defensive tackle Michael Pierce with an illness, which would actually be huge for us. Tight end Luke Stocker, elbow, and guard Wyatt Davis with an illness. Jefferson, Cook, and Kirk will all be back, ready to rock.
Jared, the producer, I'm like, not me. I told you to full screen Biscuits.
Yeah, full screen duty.
We're gonna have a production.
Limited skills. How many times must I tell you? But I guess Zimmer says he's playing all the starters.
Yep.
And can we talk about Kellen Mond? Can we have that discussion?
Whew, that was a brutal press conference.
That was like, you're out the door comment.
Yeah. It's like, nope.
He's like, I've seen him every week, every day.
I see him every day. I'm good.
That tells you a lot. And, Bears Twitter was very much like, well, that could be our other quarterback. No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general. A lot of people had Kellen Mond coming to the Bears.
Yeah,
and taking the tackle first, which it actually kind of worked in reverse because we took the quarterback first and then still got the tackle because the tackle has a fucked up back.
I didn't like him because there was a lot of excuses for why this didn't happen or that didn't happen, and you don't want to be hearing that shit in college.
Yeah.
You see guys that like Tim Tebow that dominate the game, and then some coach thinks he can actually make him an NFL quarterback. We've seen so many guys that blow up in college and fail. The guys that are like, well, if things were the right way or things were this or that, it's like, good.
Wasn't he like a 4-year starting senior?
4-year starter. He got better every year, but you just didn't see that progression increase that much year to year. That was the thing that threw me. It was like, 4-year starter should have been further along.
There wasn't anything that popped out.
Right.
Like, you're like, oh, well, okay, I see.
We had one bowl game against North Carolina, right? Was it against North Carolina where he really kind of scorched them? But still, I mean, it's North Carolina. I mean, ACC. Yeah,
I'm not saying it can't be better than Jordan. I'm not saying it can't be better than Jordan Love.
Hey, it's about time that the QB balance of power shift in this division.
Packers fans like to talk a lot of shit, and I guess they've earned that for the way that teams played, right?
Right.
Shit's not going to be very sweet for you when the Jordan Love train rolls in, and we are going to
enjoy it.
We're going to have our day in the sun.
God, I hope.
It looks that way so far, man. I mean,
could you imagine if they back into a third Hall of Fame quarterback right after Rodgers?
Shut your fucking mouth.
I think I'll just go ahead and fold shop. I'll start watching cricket as a sport instead.
But they were at a place where they let Favre out because they knew they had the guy to bring in behind them. They're
Well,
not. They put up with a lot of shit for Rodgers to come back this year.
Yeah. But I also think Aaron's playing at a much higher level than Brett did at the tail end of his career.
Oh yeah,
Before he got to
Rodgers
Minnesota.
playing with house money. Well,
I
the
agree.
game's changed too, though.
True.
Game's changed a lot.
Dude, his
Softened-
touchdown to
it's
interception
softened up the top.
ratio is just
He holds
absolutely
on to the
crazy.
ball. He doesn't turn it over.
It's just crazy. It really is.
Anyway, who's
Yeah.
in for the Bears and who's
You know
out
what,
for the
though?
Bears?
Fuck 12, bro.
Oh,
Right
no,
on.
fuck 12 all day. I put out a tweet today that's been getting a little bit of flack where I don't think he's the MVP this year.
Oh, Hub.
Not because
Well, I
of
don't-
that. Not because of that. Not
The thing
because of
is-
that.
To touch on that though, like I don't agree with his stance on that shit, but like
It was a stupid reason.
that's not why you're picking the MVP. It's not a
True.
person's personal choices if they choose to share that in this day and age.
100%. I don't
That's
care
why-
if you're the biggest bad guy or asshole out there.
I don't have
it's
to
all
agree with
about
Aaron. I don't agree with Aaron Rodgers' take. That's just me, right? But I also think that you have the right to share your opinion. He wasn't trying to force it down anybody's throat. It's not what everybody, a lot of
100%.
people want to hear. But like, we want athletes to talk to the media. I don't care what he has to say, but Packers fans probably do. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I
Yeah.
don't. Players used to be very shut off with the media. These are the reasons why, and they have to fight through this shit. So I don't like that. I don't like that attacking the guy for a personal choice.
It was
Right.
stupid. It was.
It's not a reason to not vote for an MVP. I hope he doesn't get it.
Who would your MVP be? If you're not going to vote for Rodgers, there, Biscuits, you're out on your ledge. Who would you say is the MVP of the league right now?
So, and Diddy, go ahead and walk away, mute your mic, take your headphones off.
Oh, here we go.
Now, but hear me out now, okay? This isn't just
Make a logical, not fluff-based argument.
and honestly, I can make an argument for a couple different guys. For me, when I look at MVP, it's not really set up to where players win the award for being most valuable. It's pretty much just who has the
Who's
best
the best player?
who has the best statistical season on the number one seed, pretty much is how it goes. And it shouldn't be, because most valuable player. So when I look at it, if you were to take Rodgers off of Green Bay and then take Tom Brady off of Tampa Bay, which team is going to win more games?
Tampa, because their defense is better.
Green Bay Packers defense is ranked higher in yards and points scored,
When healthy, I would take the
and
Tampa.
sacks and turnovers.
When healthy, I would take the Tampa defense.
When healthy, but judging based on this season, okay, does Tampa have the ability to go A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones heavy on a running scheme? Fournette's out for the year. Ronald Jones is okay.
All
Keyshawn
things-
Vaughn. I'm just saying that Green Bay has a way that they could pivot.
They're built
very
they're very similarly built.
I think Green Bay would win more games without Rodgers than Tampa would win without Brady. I think
disagree.
Brady is doing more
I
with
disagree
less.
too.
Oh, got some Brady haters.
No.
No, I
No.
disagree. I disagree
okay.
from this standpoint. You have a quarterback like Rodgers. You're trying to keep him off the field as much as possible with your offensive plan.
Right.
When you do that, you become conservative. That makes a defense better. Rodgers is the kind of quarterback that takes a lot of stress off a defense. And not to top that off, you're going to be playing with the fucking lead half the game.
It's coming, Biscuits. Brady scored 0 points the other week.
I hate Aaron Rodgers, bro. but
Sweet.
I'm not-
Hey,
Zero.
Rodgers
I'm not-
scored
Zero.
3 against the Saints in week 1. So what? Okay, everyone has a bad game. Tom
He-
Brady has more. Tom Brady's about to have over 5K yards. Rodgers is not
Aaron-
even over 4K.
Aaron Rodgers showed
Doesn't
up
have
from
to
a
be.
fucking all off-season fucking weed bender in Hawaii.
Dude,
His
Came
hair-
back like a week before the season started and said, fuck, we weren't good. That was his preseason game.
Tom Brady is throwing to a guy who is sleeping with a licking Instagram model, and some dude who caught the touchdown last week to win the game against the Jets, who I don't even know who the hell he was, Dude, Tom Brady is doing far more with
Against
far
who?
less.
Against who?
Cooper Kupp is more valuable
Who
to
did
the
he beat?
Rams right now.
You know, well,
Jonathan
yeah,
Taylor is more valuable to the Colts. Dude, the Colts
Now it's
with
getting
Jonathan
interesting.
Taylor would be like 3-13.
You're giving Brady the MVP because he won against the fucking Jets?
I'm giving Brady the MVP because he is dragging that team. They've lost 3 games with Brady at the
What
helm.
quarterback can't
And I
lead
don't
you to
know-
victory over the fucking Jets, bro?
Dude, that's one of 13 games. They're not 1-0. They're 13-3.
How did he play the week before?
How's he played all season? He has 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns and a passer rating of 105.
Hasn't he
you know
fallen
who
off?
I
Yeah, he's not good.
The
Okay.
the two
Get outta
previous games he
here.
fell off, right?
He's about to have over 5. No. Are you high? He had 1 bad game.
No, you
Okay?
are. That's why you're loving
what
on
about
Well,
Brady.
of course I am, but
what about Micah Parsons? Do
yeah, but
defensive players get that?
never.
No, should they get that though? I mean, you threw
Should
out
they get
running back names.
consideration? Absolutely. But if you take Micah Parsons off that Dallas team, are they a 4 or 5 win team? Because I think the Packers and the Bucks are approaching that territory.
You're an anomaly, bro. I have never met anybody in my life that loves Tom Brady as much as you do that wasn't a Patriots fan or a Bucks fan.
Because I appreciate greatness. Yeah, his last.
He's such a tool, bro. Oh my god.
Okay. We're way out. Okay, we got the
5,000
MVP.
yards, 40 touchdowns. That's all I'm saying.
God, good thing Mike Evans didn't play for him.
Okay, and Mike Evans has been hurt for how many weeks? Devontae Adams has been there pretty much every week. this
Godwin
year.
wasn't on the field at all for that guy, right? Oh,
He's
yeah.
been hurt too.
But he was on the field.
I'll turn the argument
Gronk's been
into
hurt.
this.
Fournette's been
Okay,
hurt.
okay.
Their
You had
offensive line compared to Green Bay's, get out of here. Green Bay's offensive line is way better.
completely disagree. Completely disagree. But he had 3 weapons this season. Who's Rodgers got?
Devontae
Adams,
Aaron
and
Jones,
there's 2.
AJ Dillon.
Not a weapon in the pass game.
Maybe not a weapon in the pass game, but he moves that offense down the field. You cannot downplay AJ Dillon's impact in that offense.
Why are we having fucking
He's
Packer talk?
literally taking away
I hate
snaps
you
from
for
Aaron
this.
Jones.
I'm kind of zoned in now. So here's my rebuttal. Okay.
You'll never vote for MVP for Brady.
Let me just finish my thought here.
Full
Both
screen
teams-
him, Jer.
No, I need your response, so you can't full screen me, okay?
Full screen you, then full screen me. Well, the full
Yeah,
screen fucking battle. All right, I'm back. Go ahead.
If you want. All right.
Oh.
Tell me this one, right? Both teams, both rosters perfectly healthy. Okay.
Perfectly healthy.
The Bucks and Packers perfectly healthy to
Okay.
start the season.
Okay.
Brady or Rodgers in Tampa.
Who would I take?
Who would have better output?
Brady or Rodgers with the Tampa Bay roster?
Yep.
Tom
Perfectly
Brady.
healthy. Perfectly
Brady.
healthy.
Tom Brady.
Wow, bro.
Tom Brady. All day.
With Arians. And everybody perfectly healthy.
Tom Brady.
Jer?
You are on drugs if you take Tom Brady.
I take winners, bro. I take nothing but winners.
I'm telling you, he's a winner. Yes, I give you that. He is possibly the greatest we'll ever see as far as the Super Bowl talent. Yes. Aaron Rodgers throws a different ball. If you gave him those 2 receivers in Green Bay, it'd be over. He would never leave. He would literally never leave. And guess what? They'd probably be healthy because he probably wouldn't get his receivers fucking killed.
So what you're saying is Aaron Rodgers has never had a very good wide receiver core with multiple weapons. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at this iteration right now,
so how
if you
come
gave him
did
Mike
not win
Evans and Chris
Super Bowl?
Godwin at the beginning of the season and a coach that said, you know what, go chuck it.
I don't think
So-
Rodgers. I will say this. I will say this because following Tom Brady being here very close to, I'm like an hour and a half away from Gillette. They're all over the place here on the news, on the radio, everything, right? So since Tom Brady started, I will say this: the teams he's won with at certain points in his career have
Yes.
had much better defenses than what Rodgers has had.
but less
Right.
weapons.
And less weapons. That's fair.
But
Unless you
defenses
consider-
that can turn the tone of a game.
Well, you know, when Aaron Rodgers won his only Super Bowl in Green Bay, they had the number 2 overall defense.
Sure.
That also had the number 1
When what?
in turnover. When in 2010, when the Packers won the Super Bowl,
Oh,
that Green Bay Packers defense was the number 2 defense in the league.
Okay, here's a stat for you, buddy. They had
Boom!
19 guys out. They had 19 guys out that Super Bowl.
Still had the number 2 fucking defense, and he was loaded on offense.
That's what it makes it easier when your fucking quarterback's Aaron Rodgers for a defense, bro. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Okay.
and
But
that's
so-
Packers and
And what I'm
Bucks
trying to
talk.
tell you is Brady gets more out of less, and that's why he's a 7-time Super Bowl
Who
winning
has
champ.
more talent?
Put
Who has-
Josh's
Who
last comment
has
up.
more talent?
Tom Brady and the tip of his penis than
Nah, you're being
Aaron Rodgers has in his
stupid,
entire
man.
body.
The
Well,
fact that
hold
we're
on.
arguing over the two players
Just
I
because-
hate the most. Talent?
Just because,
Thank you, Josh.
who do
Thank
you
you.
want?
Question.
The game on the
answered.
line with a minute left.
As a Bears fan, fucking Rodgers has done it how many times?
Right. 4th and 4. I can see it
Drop
already.
the mic, Josh. Drop the mic.
All right.
Drop the mic.
Fuck both them. Not sorry.
At
This is our last preview of the year, Diddy. I had to get it in. I'm
at
sorry.
this point in their career, with 40 seconds left on the clock, are you kidding me?
It's Tom Brady.
Fucking God, bro.
Get the dude drug test. Okay, we're doing mandatory drug tests tomorrow here.
You
at the
guys are
Tailgate
definitely either one of you is going to fail. So
You're telling me Belichick wouldn't have won as many rings with Rodgers?
Show. No.
And I hate Rodgers and I hate Brady. They're two of my least favorite fucking human beings in this league. I do not like either one of them, but to deny skill.
Oh, he's skilled for sure. He just lacks the killer instinct, the winning mentality.
oh my God, you're a
could
Bears fan
never
too, and you just said that.
Oh,
He could never be the man
All right,
in the
yeah.
arena.
All right,
If
For you,
there
to,
we go.
for you to say that and
You're
the fact
muted.
that
That is enough from him.
the fact that you're saying that with how many times that motherfucker's ripped our hearts out and basically said, I own you. I hate the motherfucker, bro, but let's not.
All right, we're still playing the Vikings on Sunday. Kirk Cousins.
Somehow that chat was more like entertaining and spirited than I've been about the Bears in so long this year.
We weren't talking about. Yeah, that's the thing. Let's-
You were actually less wrong on the other chat though than you are about your Brady chat.
Oh, look at Josh. He plays the Lions, Vikings, and Bears 6 times in a year. Wow.
he
Man, a
didn't
lot of
hear-
empty stats there.
He didn't
No,
even hear
I didn't hear shit. I'm just thinking about Tom Brady winning and greatness.
I hate
So
to tell you, the AFC East for years was horse shit, bro.
now that is fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That is- I can't even
The
say shit
Dolphins,
about
the
that.
Jets.
That's fair.
The Jets were their main competition.
Which is not saying much, but yeah, that's fair, Diddy.
You've been towed.
We'll end it on that note. That's been your Brady Rogers segment.
And
right.
to think that I would actually be debating about those two assholes, like God, that's like this. So this is where the Bears have put me. I'm actually defending Rodgers in an argument against Brady, which is bullshit. Okay, and I'm actually talking positively about the blog. Fuck, man, fuck this team sometimes, bro.
Yeah, this is
They
this
got
is
they got
where
me all
we're at.
fucked up, man. Yeah, like,
This is where we're at. Who's in for the Bears? Let's get back to the task at hand.
All right.
So far, we've
We
got
are
one more
so-
injury report to come.
everybody that's listening, like we are struggling to talk about this game. We keep going way off.
It's
the
hard to,
reservation.
man. It's such a disappointing season.
It's
And-
like Vikings, Bears, Vikings preview, blah.
And we don't even have like Justin to watch and look forward to. I can't think of I don't know if you
Have
guys can. Can you think of any
have they named-
storyline that intrigues you this week?
It's stat.
Have it-
It's stat padding. How many
Yeah.
more tackles will Roquan get? Will Mooney hit 1,000? Can Monty break off a big game? It's like if you have, I guess you'd be interested. The fantasy seasons are over.
Yep.
Just
Thank
to keep
you, Joe
stacking.
Burrow. Thank you, Joe Burrow.
Robert Quinn's is out, right?
Robert Quinn is out.
Is he
As
out for
he
the
should
game?
be. He's out for the season
Yeah.
tomorrow. Next, yeah, Sunday.
So it's not going to be him. See what he can stack up. Like that's basically what we're looking for. I would be more intrigued if Foles was playing because
I was going to ask, did they name a starting quarterback?
I don't know, but I hope it's Foles just because he gets more people involved, so we can actually like have some redemption and seeing other people touch get the football thrown their way instead of check down Charlie.
Right.
Who'd you say was out
Okay.
for the year?
Well, the
Quinn?
year's one game at this point.
Yeah, the year is literally one game. Robert Quinn. I totally fucked with him on that one.
So I thought Robert Quinn came back to practice today, so I'm just
Oh,
confused.
did he? I don't
Yeah,
know.
did he?
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all threw me for a damn
No,
loop there.
Jared said he's out for the season. I'm like, I haven't been on my phone in a minute.
Yeah, so back at practice today, Robert Quinn, Eddie Goldman, Duke Shelley, Andy Dalton. Akeem did not participate, and Jimmy Graham came back from his resting day because he's so exhausted from his 12 snaps a game.
Right. So you need 223 yards from Montgomery to get to 1,000.
That's not happening.
He's got
What does
40
Mooney
receptions in the year.
What does Mooney need?
We need a big screen Jared because he's taking over pony stats.
Oh, Pony stats.
Oh no, hold on.
Full screen. of
I
Pony.
don't have Mooney pulled up.
I'll pull it up and then I'll intro your Mooney stat in.
Hey, Country Schefter, can you put yourself big screen?
Wow.
That
That's
might replace
fucked up,
8-bit.
bro.
That's hilarious. That is your new nickname, Country Schefter.
All right, boys and girls, this is what you get to see.
I'm checking my cell phone. Give me a tick.
Yeah,
Pony?
I am.
Pony, is your
Yeah.
mic on? Mooney has 929. There's your stat.
So we need 71.
Ooh, that's math and Pony. How about that?
I can do simple math. There you
Pony deep inside her.
go. Jesus Christ, you hitchhiking fucks.
So we can tell the story about a hitchhiker, Jared, if you want.
No, we cannot. No, we cannot.
Let's end the preview right, Jared. Come on, give the listeners.
I don't know.
No.
Does Biscuits know about the baloney pony?
No, that's a whole different story for another time. Not
So
on.
we had this thing, right,
fucking-
Biscuits? We had this thing where like Jared was like baloney pony, like Shaft, right? Like just joking around because it's he's got his own little swag going on. So we just kind of like he was a smooth operator, ladies man. So
Oh, you talking the rap song?
I
know exactly.
I was trying to get Jared to like get into it. Like Jared, no, you have to be like, because I'm the baloney pony. Like Jared with his like twang, you know what I mean? Like it was just funny.
Yeah.
Man. But
Thank you,
baloney
Josh.
pony.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate Josh tearing it up in
Damn.
the chat, man.
I can't believe he's made
Oh,
it in
we
an
are
hour
not-
with us and not gotten sick of us now.
We are not professionals at all. We're just here to have fun.
Dude,
Definitely
like
not
when we
professional.
started this, we didn't want to be like where we were at in the beginning of this, Biscuits. We didn't want to like be too programmed. We just wanted to be dudes like chilling at a tailgate or we're all in our man caves. This is what we wanted this to be. So like we wanted to be ourselves and just kick it, and I'm proud of what this has stayed. It took a while to get to what we wanted to do. We had to like break off from other things that were got us a little more pub, I guess, in the Twitter sphere. But like, it's just cool that we were able to just keep it real and authentic, man. Like we're doing this for ourselves more than
We're
people
not trying to be
listening.
something we're not.
And if people want to listen, cool. You know what I mean? But like, it's just
You
been
should
cool
feel
just
like
kinda-
you're with your boys kicking it, right? That's the
I
whole
do,
deal.
man. It's therapeutic as fuck for me because I live in Connecticut. So like, there's not many Bears fans. The couple I know, I mean, one in particular, I'm good. So There's
Myrtle
assholes,
Beach.
there's
Well,
assholes amongst our
sounds
fan
good.
base too. Like,
Literally
yeah,
never met another Bears fan down here. So
yeah. Well, like
Well.
the problem is like there's Yankee fans and Red Sox fans, and there's assholes in both those fan bases because it's local here. So when you mix it with like there's Bears fans and the Yankee fan mentality, it's kind of a weird mix. So anyway, it's just cool to be able to kick it with you guys because like
Yeah.
just you get all your Bears talk out, man. That's why I love doing this.
I mean, we're very much like 99.99% of your podcast in where we get our information from. I mean, we have no sources. We are very reliant on
Speak for
the
yourself.
press. Well, I mean, source egg excluded. I mean, he is the ultimate source. But, you know,
He was
we
an asshole
just
today to Biscuits.
yeah, he really was.
well, I think he's an asshole every day, but in particular.
He's connected.
Sorry, I'm laughing at what Jared just said. I don't know if Diddy heard that one.
It's all right.
Yeah,
You don't
come
care.
on, man. I'm freaking.
Here's all.
I'm Teflon to this shit by now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't. He doesn't get. He's Teflon.
Oh, I've definitely become hardened in the thread because of him in particular. I mean,
Oh
Jesus.
yeah,
You get
Your
him
girl-
a fucking opening, and he will just rip your ass. Like shit
He
that
will
like
Muhammad
would-
Ali your ass and
dude,
just.
shit that would normally cut deep if like you knew he wasn't like your boy and your friend.
And that's
Like,
the problem, bro. Like the people that we used to be in DMs with.
They didn't get that. Anyway,
but yeah,
Score
hey,
predictions.
Josh, we really appreciate you though. Listen,
But that was actually funny that they didn't get it because forget it. I'm an asshole.
score predictions for this mess.
Damn, we're on score predictions already. Have we even got to offensive defensive player yet?
We don't know what to do score.
Jesus, Chair.
Well, we don't
Cheers.
even know who the fuck's playing. It's week 18. Nobody really gives a
Has there
shit.
been a quarterback announcement?
No, I don't think there has
For
been.
us, no.
It doesn't matter.
It's gonna
Fact-
be Andy though. If Andy came back today, full participation, which he did, it's
David Montgomery. We're running Wildcat the whole fucking game.
Ugh.
I
don't
found
wanna
out
see
why we
any
don't
more
pass
of
out of
that.
it, huh?
Oh
Yeah.
man, that play was open though. If he had just thrown it a little bit more, but yeah, we can
Offensive
bury that
players. Obvious. Well, let's go through it real quick. Offensive players from Minnesota: Cousins, Jefferson.
we're just playing them, bro.
I mean, it's the same as it was 2 weeks ago when we played him.
Is Thielen healthy? I haven't even fought.
No, he's out.
one.
He's
No,
out.
he's
out,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
For us, can Cole Kmet do anything? I mean,
we've seen our like backups dominate Cousins, so I'm really not like super threatened by him. I think
It's
we just have.
Dalvin Cook.
it's Dalvin.
That's what worries me. I think Jared's been on it all year. Our defense cannot stop the run worth of shit. So
Right. Not without Akeem. And it looks like Akeem's done, correct?
yeah, Keem's done.
I mean,
So-
if Zimmer's done though, like if he's truly done, you think somebody would go to him and say, "Dude, like, why don't you give Cook a little pitch count maybe or a break? Like why even?
Yeah.
He's had some
True.
big injuries. Like why even?
Well, I would say that this is a game, as far as a Bears fan, if you're watching, this will be a game where I think they'll really try to feed Mooney a lot. So they want to get him over that 1,000-yard mark. I really think that's something you could see.
I don't want to see anybody hurt.
I want to see Cole Kmet get in the fucking end zone. Get a touchdown.
That
Yeah.
would be nice.
I mean, although he's the second leading receiver on the team, how many touchdowns he got?
Yeah, he's
Zero.
like a Rob at tight end
Exactly.
in a good
Not a
year.
fucking thing.
He has more.
I have
receiving
as
yards
many
than A-Rod.
touchdowns.
Jesus.
No, what I'm
That's
saying,
Cole
like
Kmet has.
for
No, I
the
know what
tight
you're
end
saying.
position, yeah, like you had those years where A-Rob get over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
But it was how many touchdowns?
True.
You know what I mean? Like it's the same.
Play everybody too, man. Fuck it.
I mean, in his defense, though, we don't get down in the red zone too often. I would venture out to say. I think we're 27th in red zone attempts. So
And I don't understand why Robinson isn't involved in that more.
I don't understand why our tight end room is the same two people over and over again.
Guys, like remember when Alshon in the end zone was money?
Yeah.
Yep.
Same staff that pulled
Alshon's
Jimmy
different.
Graham off the red zone packages earlier in the year and tail into last year.
And Marshall was money in the end zone too.
They're both
Yeah.
big guys.
In the red zone, man. Like,
What's the red zone?
yeah. But that's the guy I thought A-Rob was going to be with a little more speed, to be honest, when we first got him. That's what I expected. And
He had some moments, man. And it looks like it's the end for A-Rob too. And
he was very Marty Booker-ish, which is fine. But he wasn't the guy. Like, we didn't get Marty Booker thinking like, oh my God, we got that guy. Like he came out of nowhere.
have the Bears ever had that guy though?
And Marty Booker was a cool dude, though, at least.
I think the Bears have had that guy. Like, I think, like, if
for a year, Marcus Robinson was that guy.
Curtis Conway was a very underrated receiver here.
Conway and Graham, that was a good duo.
Curtis, though, if we had a really top quarterback, it would have been a different story for his career. That dude was nasty, man.
Josh makes a good point too. So thank God we didn't pay him. How would you all feel right now if we had extended Allen Robinson moving forward?
This is where the Antonio Brown thing comes in at. I just wonder, was he cut out of the offense a little bit? Antonio Brown, there was a rumor that maybe he felt like he was being cut out of the offense. Yeah. Do you feel like maybe Allen Robinson was treated the same way?
I would ask back, what benefit to the Bears and that coaching staff would it have been to limit what has been your one or two most productive offensive players the last several years? I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just posing the hypothetical back.
I mean, so you're saying he's kind of like a saint of circumstance. This is what happened.
I don't know what the behind the scenes was like right here. So I know Mooney. We heard stories of Mooney working out with Justin extra. Justin didn't get any reps with A-Rob.
Yep.
Nope.
That's a coaching issue. So like I don't know. I just don't think they were on the same page. I don't think
Allen wanted to be on the same page at times.
I mean, how many times did we see him not even try to block?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think
the damning video was the run where Justin's running and he just walks off the sideline. I was just like, yeah, that to me was the one that.
Like he checked out a little bit. You know what I mean? There's a whole. He didn't want to be franchised. He's been kind of snippy with fans. Like it's a two-way street. Maybe yes, he wasn't the focal point of the offense. They weren't forcing the ball to him like they did with Mitch.
It'd be fucking funny.
They're trying to develop guys here too, man. Like you can't just have him be your possession receiver and ignore everybody else. He's not getting separation. Like
and then you're asking him to run a bunch of hitches though too. So that's like equally.
Yeah, your route tree is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's more of a victim of circumstance than it is this premeditated plan to phase him out of the offense.
Okay.
If so, I think they would have looked to move him at the trade deadline for whatever they thought they could have maybe gotten.
Yeah, those negotiations didn't seem to go well. I'll just say that. No. And it could be on the Bears for how they handled it. So I don't know the behind the scenes, but he hasn't lived up to the expectations that I thought what I thought he would be when we got him here. That's all I'm saying. And that there's a lot of circumstance there. The guy's never played with a quarterback that has developed since he's been here either. Some shit veterans, and it sucks. The whole situation sucks. We're gonna have to move on from him though.
So who do you want to see the most in this last game? Since we're not going to see Justin, is there a player that I want to see get some reps? Or
I want to see Daz get involved. I want to see more Herbert. To be honest, because I don't want to see Monty hurt either.
That's a good point.
Trying to think, man. Like, nice to see Cole get in the end zone, like you said.
It would be nice to see Cole.
Underrated guy that I really kind of want to see and keep an eye on this game, and this is how far deep in the barrel we're trying to reach. But I want to see Bilal Nichols have a really, really good game impact. Losing Akeem, I know it's too. He's not going to replace Akeem. Plays a slightly different position there, but I think he needs to be a guy who I think we thought he would take a step forward this year and really kind of hasn't. I want to see a big game out of Bilal Nichols. That's my underrated guy.
Even give Cody a rest and let Bars get in.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing Alex Bars get some playing time. You got to get
Daniels at center and put
and
Bars in center.
get Jenkins out there on that left tackle.
There's no way they're moving Daniels to center.
I would like to
it would
see
be
it.
nice though. Fuck yeah,
I'd like
it'd
to
be nice.
see it. I mean, why the hell not at this point? But it's whatever. Nagy's stubborn with shit. I'd like to see. I'd like to see Snowden, man.
Yeah,
That's true. Good point. Yeah.
I want to see Thomas Graham the whole game.
yeah.
I
think we should get a good look at Artie Burns too.
I want to see Travis.
He hasn't played half bad.
No, he hasn't.
Artie Burns.
Travis Gibson.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make an argument. Artie Burns also a number 1 draft pick from Pittsburgh, correct? He was
maybe a first rounder. I don't.
He's a first round pick for the Steelers.
Yeah.
That had knee problems. So.
What about giving an interior linebacker a chance who claims that he's never been given a chance? What about Joel?
E.A. Booney.
Is this the Iggy game?
No.
Look at his face.
See, those are times where I should go full screen when he's making that face.
Yeah, for real. Fourth rounder, and special teams player. That's just the value there. Just kills me with pace sometimes.
Yep. You just
I want him gone, man. Want him gone.
The thing with him, he's coming out of Western, right? Western Kentucky. I think it's
get rid of pace. I'm going to play Adam Sandler's medium pace.
Watch you whack off, huh? Take the shampoo bottle and do what?
No, that wasn't talking about the shampoo bottle. The pizza delivery boy thing, sure. God, that song killed me back in the day. The first time I heard it, oh my god.
Jared, would you be happy if Pace is gone? You've been pretty quiet on the Pace talk tonight.
I think he's got to go. He's got to. I mean, Kevin White, and then trying to cover it up, and then the mistakes that you keep making. You move up for a guy, Anthony Miller, and nothing happens with him. He's on his third team.
Hyped about Miller, the footwork.
Oh my God, we did. We loved him.
I thought sinker.
Steve Smith gave him the seal of approval. Remember that?
Yep.
Steve Smith loved him, and we
talked about his.
We ate it up.
The Memphis grind. I think that's the most disappointing thing about Miller.
I should have known his rookie year. Okay, this is going to sound really terrible. I ran into his family. His family stayed at the same hotel we did at Bourbonnais, and they were rolling deep. So there's a lot of pressure on this kid. I feel like from a family perspective I'm just saying.
A lot of kids in the NFL though have big families, big crowds, and
I mean that puts a little something different on your plate when your family leans on you like that.
That's true. I mean, I think there's an aspect there.
That doesn't mean they were leaning on him. That just means they were there to support him.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I read too much into that.
God, you all have this big ass family. I ain't got this big.
No, I mean it was just.
Jared's like, yeah, Anthony paid for all their hotel rooms. We don't know that.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying, like they were trying to he had to provide for 40 people with his contract.
No, it was about 15.
Oh, that's not that bad.
It doesn't mean they're on the pay. It doesn't mean they're on the payroll, bro. Anthony Miller's
no. I'm just saying,
like posse with him.
He's got a big family, and he's sometimes that stuff fucks with people.
Jer is our GM. Does he have a big family?
I never heard. You think he would have heard something like that though if he had to?
No, I'm not saying they're like a bad family or anything like that.
No. What I'm saying is when players have to like, they're like spending lavishly with their people, and like usually that stuff. I don't think that. I just think Anthony got to the league. Like I saw him at the 100-year. It was like Eddie, where like, but before he did anything, like he had a swag about him. Like he was that dude. Like he was wide receiver 1. He just had that persona. Like he thought he was better than he was before he got there.
Then he broke out the clothing line and all that shit.
Right. Do you know what I mean? So he was already trying to. He was.
I get you.
He was already thinking about the brand before he became something to build a brand with.
Right.
There was just like it was too much. Like he thought. I mean, dude was like big ass watch, sick ass car. Like he arrived. You know what I mean?
Right. He's living that life.
And I don't.
And you know what? His rookie year,
he got to the league. It was the freaking Nagy scientific bullshit that they, again, not developing players correctly.
Right.
Anthony Miller could have come in and just beat his guy.
Yep.
Yeah, they tried to play him too structured.
Although
we saw him
that
wide
it's
ass
not
open, Jer. Remember all the times we saw him wide ass open. So they were trying to make him something he wasn't. That didn't help either. But
get to the L.
Exactly, man. Foles figured it out.
Yep. Which that statement kind of speaks volumes too.
Just get open.
Now that I think about it, though, it's like if you don't know the playbook, then
he was struggling with the route tree. But when Foles told him get to the L, that's all you have to do with him.
Right. But you can't do that every play. It's like go to the 38.5-yard line and stop. You know where the 38.5-yard line is, right?
Jared, I'm just saying he's a guy that you can hit an open man when you need to.
But anyway, that's more of an indictment. We can just say that it's another indictment on this.
Well, what would Anthony Miller? And I agree with you, Jared. Is a total indictment for sure.
A quarterback can develop a chemistry with a guy that can just get open.
And what would he look like with a quarterback like Justin Fields, who can do a little bit more of that improvising and playing less structured football than an Andy Dalton?
If he was good and he was if he was as good as we thought he was and he's as cheap on the free agent market, don't you think a certain quarterback in a certain southern city would have already grabbed him?
Certain quarterback. Oh, I'm not taking the bait on this one.
But you're not wrong. I'm not wrong. There would have been a phone call made to him, and it would have been done.
Good point.
So we overvalued him.
Who?
Just like Nagy did. Anthony Miller.
He was asking, I think, which quarterback from the South you were referring to.
Wow.
What wide receiver have they developed besides Mooney?
None.
Which I don't know if
how much development that really
he's still his completion percentage is awful low though. He's dropped a lot of passes this year.
I'm not saying Mooney is perfect, but when I'm out of the receivers we've had in the past, this is the only guy that's really panned out that started here.
It's a lot of Bobby Ingram, only faster.
But it's comparing it to what we've had here that we've drafted and developed.
Yeah, good point. So,
because we were high on a couple guys that came up here, Ridley. Then we're like, where's Ridley? Wims.
I thought, I really thought Wims had a small opportunity, and then he fucked it up with his punching people
and wrong. Mm-hmm. And positions that we constantly needed to work. Tight end.
Yep.
Jury's still out on Komet. I'll give him another year before I kind of form a solid opinion because the COVID year.
This is his best year.
The COVID year preseason is kind of bullshit. These guys didn't get to. They went into a whole nother world coming when the pandemic first started.
How many catches has Komet got there, Biscuits?
He's got to be over 50.
Stats is reloading.
I mean, that was
Cole Komet, and it's not even
was he like 57, 58?
It's just value for that type of wide tight end. Is just
he's the best. He's the best rookie tight end we've drafted in the Pace era.
56 catches, 564 yards, 10.1 yards a catch.
And then you go back and you think about other tight ends that we've had in our, like JP Holtz playing the fullback, and then 87. Why can I not think of that dude's name?
Ben Monica?
No.
And I think a better coach would also
on our team right now. The one that had chemistry with Justin and
he's 8. If you
Jasper Horsted.
Oh, I thought you meant Jesse. Okay.
A better coach
Yeah.
would put Komet in better positions to succeed too. They really hammered down blocking with him. I don't know if like a coach that knew what the fuck they were doing wouldn't just put him in like Graham.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I just a lot of these guys. Unfortunately, I need to see a new coach try to work with them, especially the young guys. So,
Well, I think this is pretty much though. And I hate to say it, but I think it's like his ceiling pretty much. He's going to be that 500 to 700 yard tight end, maybe
Kyle Rudolph.
4. Yeah, Kyle Rudolph, which is not bad. It's just for a second round pick where the roster where it was at. And it's not even a criticism of Cole Kmet because he didn't draft himself. It's just a further indictment on Ryan Pace that that position in this offense, does the value match the pick?
And that's the thing. We're looking for that big tight end, right? Because of the Kansas City offense.
Yep.
This offense hasn't looked anything like close to that.
Nothing.
So we weren't just a tight end away from it working, and that was their focus. But
And he's not even a U tight end, you know.
they could never put the right players in for Nagy's system to work, and that's the problem with Nagy as a head coach. You have to coach to your player strengths, and it's always been above this guy's head.
Correct.
And pace too.
Is Jesper Horsted injured?
No idea.
Don't know, bro.
But that's why you sold me on McDaniels, though. Is
You realize
the
he's got
adaptability standpoint.
He's got 2 catches, 21 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's like what? That one baffles me. I still think that guy's better than.
Jesse James.
That's your Y tight end.
And he had a chemistry with Justin. Nagy doesn't make sense, bro.
Freezing Glare says no, he may be on COVID. That could be true.
I haven't heard anything about Jesper in a while.
I like
Man.
I
Yeah.
like him too.
I think that guy's that's your Kelsey's type. He's faster. Seems like he gets out of his breaks better.
We have no Kelsey type on this team, bro.
No, but if we're going down that route.
I'm not even touching that subject, actually.
Outside of Jimmy Graham from the 3-yard line, he's definitely the best receiving skill set tight end we have on the roster. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, Kelsey's is just a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Correct. Score predictions now, since we're.
As you can also see, once again, we're having a very hard time trying to talk about this game.
Yeah, because it's terrible. It's like you said, it's a struggle.
Have y'all ever looked forward to the last game of the Bears season any more so than this year?
No, but
It's
I'm not gonna
kinda
be one of those.
sad.
I'm not gonna be one of those fans that's like, oh, I'm not watching. Fuck this team.
Oh, dude, fuck those people on Bears Twitter. I'm not. watching.
You're gonna watch.
You're
It's
definitely gonna fucking watch.
It's your squad. You know how long we're gonna go without football after this? We're gonna watch because we want to see the
Yeah.
young guys. We want to. It's just.
Yeah.
as
By the
tough
way,
as it
shout out NFL for getting Wild Card Weekend absolutely correct. You have football all day. I love it.
What's that schedule like, Jer?
I have no idea. I know they play all day on Saturday on one, and then they play all day on Sunday. So you got morning, afternoon, and then prime time.
Oh, is it 1, 4, and 8 on
Yep.
East Coast normal time? Okay.
Pretty
So
sure.
I have a question for both of you. What is it like to not be married with children and able to watch all day? Like what? How many games, Jay?
Well, it's 3 games, so it'd be 6 total.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be good.
3 football
Awesome.
games.
It's great. I just
can't justify doing it because like on the weekends I'm.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
you got that's family time for you.
Well,
Yeah, I
my
get it.
kids, yeah. Like if there's one game on, I'll pick one game. I'll pick one game that I'm real interested
Right.
in. But
For me, it's just the couch and Mary Jane and football.
I
It's
never
beautiful.
I never watched like 3 games in a day if my team wasn't involved.
Really? Oh,
Not
man.
really.
It depends on what I'm doing, like if I'm in the mood for it. But anyway, all right.
AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, yeah, I'm down to watch both. But like every single playoff game,
Oh, dude, I'll sit there and
I
watch.
love
If the Bears
football.
aren't on, I'll watch Jets and Jaguars.
I love football, but I hate seeing too much good football. It puts me in a bad place.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Speaking of bad football, score predictions.
That's why I lived through Tom Brady, bro. I'm so tired of bad Bears football.
Tom Brady, bro. Oh god, I hate that man.
I'll let Diddy go first on his score predictions. Full screen them.
Why?
I need access. I need controls.
There it is.
Yes. All right. This is Diddy with his weekly
Now
score
you're making me perform because I wasn't even ready to talk about score predictions. But if I had to pick a score prediction for this exciting, exhilarating game this Sunday, I'll say Bears 24, Vikings 16.
Bears win. Send Nagy off in the sunset with a 35-30 overall record.
I feel like that's too dangerous.
There you
I
go,
don't
Big
want
Ugly.
Nagy- Oh Jesus. All right.
Broke out the jersey.
I
was going to give you the play-by-play breakdown of how that was going to happen.
Hey, full screen him, Jared.
No,
Diddy
Joe.
kind of-
You're on it.
You don't want to mess Jared up with the. Yeah, let's not mess Jared up with the controls too much.
Right.
I'm gonna go Bears 20, Vikings 33.
A Viking blowout.
Yeah.
All right, it's my turn.
Can you explain the Viking blowout?
Purple rain, baby. That's what's going to happen. Vikings come out pissed off. Nagy goes out like a bum. 35-10 Vikings.
Jesus. That's a Vikings blowout. And you know
Dalvin
what?
Cook goes crazy.
That was Jared's 35-10. Whew, Jesus. And for Josh in the chat, because he's been here all night with us, his prediction is 17-21 Vikings. So
Hey.
Diddy, you're rolling alone, bud.
Although the Bears-Vikings games have always been
You're
crazy.
muted,
Jared muted me, huh?
Ooh.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
I'm just joking, man. So this is the thing. So the fact that you're both picking them to win, we need to have Wyatt on if the Vikings win because I want to hear it.
Why? I picked the.
I want to
Vikings
hear. I want to hear Wyatt going on you for how bad if the game's like you predicted.
Why you gotta be like that?
I'm picking the Bears. I'll argue with him, but I just want to see him going on you a little bit.
It goes on me every time we lose to them fucks.
That's what
Diddy, where
surprised
the Bears scoring 24 points at?
Turnover City. That's the only way you get it.
I'm just curious.
3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Jeez, thanks, Professor.
Well, I said 28.
He asked the question. I give him the answer.
See, you always have
throws
to be
a
so
dick.
nuanced with him. You know that? How do the Bears score their 3 touchdowns and their field goal, young Master Diddy?
You said, how do they score 24 points? And I
Oh,
told you.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, want to say
The
if you're
math checks
following
out.
us,
The math checks out.
You know who would score
Scotty.
more than 24 points on the Bears? Tom Brady. That's who.
Do you have a Tom Brady
no,
blow-up
he'd
doll?
probably get killed.
Do you have a Tom Brady blow-up doll, bro?
Just the ass part of
Maybe.
it. He keeps it under his bed.
Oh,
probably
everyone
let-
in the chat just left.
He'd probably let Tom Brady fart in front of him.
Yep. Mouth open.
That would be tough.
Mouth
I'd
open.
have to think about that one for sure.
You know he probably
don't
has a-
don't
you
give
know
up
he-
too many secrets now.
You know he probably has a Tom Brady fart in a jar somewhere.
Oh,
I
that's
do
what
not.
AB's girl did, right?
No,
She's-
Jared.
She just. I think that was a different one.
You say the one, that girl that AB snuck in his hotel was selling farts.
Oh, here we go.
He said,
Would you let Tom Brady kiss you, Biscuits? Yes or no?
Josh gets it. Tom Brady's a sick fuck, bro. Robert Kraft,
So-
12-year-old boys, he don't care.
Here's my thinking. Okay.
No, answer the question. There's
I'm
no
gonna
thinking.
answer
Yes
to
or
it.
no.
I'm trying to work
No
through this
thinking, yes or no?
logically,
No,
okay?
no.
Yes or
You know
no,
what?
and then give us your
Chair,
logic.
Biscuits is trying to work through his anatomy and figure out where he wants Tom Brady to kiss.
Just the tip, Tom. Just the tip.
My hope would be that maybe if we made lip contact, that maybe some of that greatness would rub off on
Oh
me.
my god! Dude.
Pause.
Anybody in the chat? Have you ever met a guy that's so into Tom Brady that wasn't a Patriot fan? Like,
You
for
know why
real.
I love Tom Brady? Because not only does he win, but everybody
Oh
seems
my
to
God,
fucking
I
hate
can't
him, and it just
stand it.
triggers everybody. You know, I get off on that type of
This
shit.
is what you do. You do one of these. If he does the old lean in, you're
If
like,
he
oh.
leans in, Josh is king right
You know
now.
what started for me with Brady? Like I
Dude.
was actually happy for the Patriots organization that they were finally, like, when they had Bledsoe, they were actually becoming a legitimate team because they were a local team. But like with Brady, the whole Tuck Rule bullshit, that's how it started, bro. It's just been like controversy after controversy, and he's such a little pompous asshole.
He's one of these. Oh, Spygate. Oh, cell phone gate. Oh, Deflategate. Whatever. Just keeps winning.
When that happened, were you actually
Reverend
walking?
Tuggate.
Were you in
When that
diapers or
happened, was
something?
I what?
You do remember it, right? You weren't in diapers back then or anything, right?
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it being overblown as usual.
He was in diapers
Oh
last
my
week.
You know
God.
what's funny? You know what's funny? The year that Deflategate happened, Atlanta was found guilty for pumping fake crowd noise into their intercoms in their stadium, which I think has more of an impact on games than deflating a ball by 5 or 10 psi.
I'm gonna
It's
find out
absolutely ludicrous.
I'm gonna find out your Tom Brady blood count right now.
Is that
Okay.
Braggs?
Yep.
Oh, Greg in the chat.
Bragg's on the Twitch.
All three of you say something nice about me right now.
Braggs,
Go on you.
If Ryan Pace is not fired, we riot. Boom. Thanks, Brad.
What's up, Greg? Greggy
What's up,
Sunshine. Man, I wish I had Greg here tomorrow. Actually, we're getting like 8 inches of snow, man. That dude loves to shovel.
Dude, he would shovel your lawn better than any
Greg-
man in Connecticut.
Greg was busting my balls, Jerry. You've seen pictures of like my driveway. He's busting my
Yeah.
balls. He's like, "You don't shovel that shit?" I'm like, "No." It would take me like 4 hours to shovel that shit. Greg's like, "You old man, come on, man."
That was my first exposure to Braggs, by the way.
What's that? The
Braggs is
shovel?
good
Shoveling his
people, man.
lawn. I kept seeing this guy shoveling his lawn. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Braggs has energy,
But it's
bro.
low key genius though.
He's cool as fuck. Dude has
Bragsy is one of
energy.
the few pictures on my wall.
He's young, man. Braggsy's young compared to me, so like he's fired up, dude. Good dude though, great dude to chill with.
He said, heard you have a parking lot.
I have an estate, Greg, actually,
The Diddy compound's got its own parking lot.
and I
That
invited
is
him to
great.
come chill with me for a minute. Whatever, Greg. We'll talk about that later.
All right, boys, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, man.
Season ending.
Hopefully ends with a W. It'd be nice to see because I don't.
It
think
would
it's
be
gonna-
nice to end it all.
It's not going to
And
change.
so,
anything.
honestly, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that things are here.
It sucks, man. Like the thing that sucks the worst for me is I just expected when Justin did come in, when you're like watching everything out of him in college and high school, and he's always been a winner. To see him put into the situation he was in Cleveland, just like as a fan, it kind of ripped your heart out, man. Like this is the guy that we want to
Right.
be our future franchise quarterback, and that's how you set it up to start for him. It just sucked. It sucked that he didn't get the chance to compete for the starting job when you knew the whole team was behind this kid. The way it started off and our expectations. I mean, we started the offseason last year talking about Russell Wilson coming here and legitimately believing there was a shot, right? We thought it was all about fixing the quarterback. And then you get the guy that everybody, the fan base was behind, the players were behind in the locker room, in the training camp, and you turned your back on that shit just to be right about Andy fucking Dalton. You potentially jeopardize the development of who's supposed to be our starting QB for years to come. You fucked with that. I want
Right.
Pace and Nagy the fuck out because Pace allowed it to happen on his shift too. I just want a fresh start, man. And I don't think Justin's broken because of it, because I think he's strong. I mean, we drafted a quarterback that's strong enough to come up out of this bullshit and I think be okay. Thank God. because
the process was incredibly flawed, like you said.
Bro, how many rookie quarterbacks would have been ruined for their career from this shit?
Josh in the chat asked us a question. Will you do a show when both Pace and Nagy are fired? There will be an orgy of propaganda on this website. You will be able to see all kinds of stuff, and yes, we will.
Jared
more than likely.
Jared just called this a website because AOL is bumping tonight. Dial up in the
And we'll be doing shows in the off season too.
Oh yeah,
definitely, man, definitely.
These guys can't quit me. They need that one-on-one time with me.
If they win on a game,
the blog said our Twitter feed won't be around for another year, so now we like out of spite have to go for another year in a day just to be right.
We'll do it out of spite.
Bragg's got two quick comments real quick that I think I do want to touch on, but he said a loss means a higher.
Braggs has his own show. He doesn't need the publicity.
Hey, come on. Dude, how many times have you had Braggs on here? Loss means Go ahead.
We need to have Braggs on, man. Dude never
I would love to talk to Greg.
I'll get Greg on.
/ Brad.
You have to catch Brad at the right time.
I think he would agree with me about how great Tom is, though. But his other comment, he says a loss means a higher second-round pick. I'm gonna go full Chubbs on Braggs right now.
You go full Chubbs on Brady every week. Go ahead,
dude. Him and Chubbs have some epic Twitter battles back and forth. I just can't root for the Bears to lose. A higher second-round pick would have been nice. I can't root for them to lose. That's all I got.
I won't be mad if we get a higher draft pick for losing, though.
No, I wouldn't be mad. I'm not actively sitting there rooting for a higher second-round pick.
Right.
No.
And that would be the ultimate. I mean, there was actually talk on Twitter if he goes on a 3-game winning streak and they keep him, like, bro, I will break shit.
It would be bad. Well, that's what he put up. Do they carry him off on a game-winning touchdown? It'll be a triple doink. He wins on a triple doink.
Then George will come out there. The guys really rallied around him, and you see the way they carried him off the field?
And they show like a video of him talking to the team after and like how inspirational.
I feel like Hakeem and Allen Robinson would probably take him off in pieces. I don't think he'd take him off as one person. It's like, look, I got a leg.
It's just this is a pivotal moment for us as a fan base, man, because if they are going to move on from Nagy, from everything we're hearing, and they need to get this right. And from stuff that we heard, whether we want it to be right, even though I still question who it's coming from, about Pace being let go too. I would love that to be accurate. I really just want a fresh fucking just reset button and try to get this shit on track, man. Because I think Justin can definitely be that guy. I'm still not. Right. It's disappointing from my fanatical Bears fan perspective that he didn't just come in and dominate, because we want that so desperately. But I still think he's definitely. I'm excited as hell to see him with a new coach, and if it's a defensive coach, that's fine. But the offensive coordinators they hit on, I'm good with that too. I just want to see it right. Ultimately, it's fun to banter back and forth about what name you want. I just want them to get it right. That's it.
I don't care who it is, as long as it's the right person and they get it done. And we all get to go to Chicago.
There's guys I want
in February, and freeze our asses off in a park and enjoy.
Not in Arlington Heights, and that climate control. It's classy as fuck.
All right.
Don't get me started on that shit, please.
No, they need that state-of-the-art stadium, bro.
Why do they need that?
All right, let's wrap this up, boys. We're an hour 43 in.
I know why the owners need it. I don't know why the fans need it.
It's the same way you need a pair of Tom Brady's.
Do you want to pay double? You want to pay double in ticket prices? Like, is that appealing?
And that.
You do anyway. You're not getting tickets from the Bears directly.
You understand that the ticket prices are going to increase significantly when they move to Arlington Heights. You know that. That is a fact.
You just said, do you want to pay double for ticket prices, motherfucker? Are you like going right to George, the ticket master, and getting the tickets from him? You're paying double to triple now, bro.
What I'm saying is paying double the current rate that you're paying at Soldier Field. Come on, stick with the conversation, Diddy. Jesus.
You stop. You want to sit on metal benches and jerk off Tom Brady, bro.
It's concrete bleachers.
Concrete.
And it's just a circle jerk session. Jesus.
Oh, God. That's what you're gonna.
First of all, First of all, if you increase seating capacity, your ticket prices will naturally go down. So we'll go from there.
Okay, tell that to SoFi Stadium and tell that to Allegiant Stadium. Oh, and tell that to Jerry World.
That's just another episode.
No, it's not. No, it's not yet. Because we have a realtor here who we got in a real estate argument, right?
Oh my God.
What would make the franchise more valuable? Finally owning their own stadium or staying in Soldier Field, which they don't even own?
Whoever argued that it would make them less valuable to stay in Soldier Field?
I thought you were warming up to Arlington Heights, and now you're back on no.
I've always understood it from the owner's perspective. I get why they would want to own their own stadium. They become a more attractive team if they ever decide to sell. There's more revenue involved in it. They can host other events. I get all that. From the fan perspective, I give 2 fucks if the McCaskies own their own stadium. I want to watch snow football from the comfort of my couch in Myrtle Beach. That is what I want. I have spoken.
Why can't you do it from the comfort of an indoor stadium live?
Why
live with the same comfort as being at home?
The idea of a modern amenity zone, why do we need mojito bars and all this shit? You're going to a stadium to watch the game. You're not there. Dude, whenever I see people at SoFi Stadium sitting in that sports bar during the game and their backs are toward away from the field, sitting there at the sports bar, it's like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Why'd you pay $600 to go sit at a bar in a stadium? It's mind-blowingly stupid to me.
Why do we need?
Go ahead.
Why do we need mojito bars?
When you get pissed, bro. you bring the fire.
It just pisses me off. I don't get it at all.
All right, Biscuits. What if they put a headshot?
I want a temperature-controlled seat for my rear end.
Weed's illegal.
Hell yeah, I do. I'm an old fucker.
Here's the thing. He just wants the right amenities. So what we'll do, Biscuits, is we'll make sure they put a freaking smoke room where you could just go toke some weed and it's got really good ventilation and you just get baked instead of your mojito.
That'll be baked anyways.
I'm just saying, while you're at the game, get your own hot box. They'll call it the hot box.
Oh, it'd be like the press box when it's the hot box.
He's trying to think of the best thing to sell me on this damn idea.
Amenities, bro. Amenities are amenities for everybody, right?
That would be the one amenity that I would care for. That's it. That is it.
Then Chicago Bears, if you're listening, which I know you're not, please make a special box for Biscuits that he can smoke weed and eat burnt steaks in.
It's gonna need some serious ventilation.
Call it the penalty box.
Serious ventilation. Oh Jesus!
All right, let's wrap this bitch up, boys.
Don't you want to be in a pool at the stadium? Thank you, Josh.
Thanks everybody for joining us in the chat.
Yeah,
and
man,
hopefully
thank you, Josh. Thank you, Braggs.
Thank you for the Twitch, man. We put it on Twitch today. I'm glad we got some response. Thanks, Braggsy.
Braggs came in off Twitch. Nice.
Are you done talking to Greg?
I am done talking.
No, maybe I'm not. Maybe I want to talk to him some more. Some one-on-one.
Greg,
how about that?
Has more pictures on my wall than you.
Whoa!
Wow.
You don't have a picture of me.
All right. Whoa. Okay. So now
Whoa.
I was just about to close out the show, but okay. So instead of Brady,
I want a picture of
Biscuits. We have Jerry. You literally have pictures of Braggs on your wall.
I do. I got somebody made a collage for me for all the times we went out to bear stuff, and Braggsy's on my wall.
Braggsy. Another man.
Braggsy and Jenna
and naked pictures.
Not naked pictures.
Yeah, Braggs is just standing there with a shovel.
It's not
private parts. That's nothing but a shovel.
Jerry, that's Brett Braggs, not
Braggsy. Braggsy, you're from Indiana,
Brad?
man. Is this like a normal thing for another man to have pictures of you on his wall? Is that like a?
Yes. It was
a gift.
He keeps looking over there too,
it's right there. I'm looking right at him.
Did Greg give you one of
Zeke's on the wall?
Did Greg give you one of his sweaty T-shirts from training camp? Do you have one of Greggy's tank tops framed and autographed?
If I did, I want pit stains and all, boys. That's what I want. All right.
I never knew you had pictures of Greg on your wall, bro.
No, for real. Yeah, I've got a
interesting.
picture
I'm
of
not
all
even
the
gonna lie.
friends.
I don't even
All
have a picture of Tom in this cave. So,
Greg,
Jerry,
Greg, bro,
you one up on
Greg,
me,
you
man.
need to come on just so Jared can meet his hero. I mean, he's got pictures of you in his man cave, bro.
Somebody put together for a Christmas gift for me. It was 2 pictures. They're huge frames,
Oh, dude.
and it's all of like all the people I've met on tailgating.
You have the picture of me and Diddy from Pittsburgh?
They haven't made. This was last Christmas.
Wow, this
Biscuits.
guy. I guess we're just not important, Diddy.
Biscuits. I was at the 100-year Greg, right? We were in line.
Careful.
Car drives by.
Oh
We're
shit.
just chilling, man, right? It's Tanner Gentry. Okay. Like, it's cool. Hey, Tanner, whatever. Braggs took off, bro. Like, Tanner.
Oh man, if you go with Braggs to a game, you better bring your running shoes because he's
Thing with Greg,
everywhere.
you got to watch him, right? Because like he gets he knows what he's doing, right? But you need to keep up with that dude because all of a sudden we were like out getting autographs outside of the where they had the event, like right in the front door area, right? We're meeting some players and shit. All of a sudden Greg dips out, and he's like, "Dude, you got to get in here." They already locked the doors. He's in there with like Nagy and Pace, like right on near the stage. Like the dude and Joniak said, that's when Joniak made that comment, Greg Braggs, you're ridiculous. Like that dude knows where to be at the right time. I actually did follow him once, and like Khalil walked by us. The dude just like
He's a magnet.
He's got the Midas touch when it comes to like being at the right place at the right time. But to keep up with him, you got to like be on your A game because you look away, Greg is out. Like,
Sort of like you in Pittsburgh, Diddy. Okay.
yeah, all right. You got me there. It's not a bad thing, Greg. He just knows where to be, man. Like, dude, I know why he likes to shovel. That dude has energy.
How close did he get to Tanner Gentry's car?
You have to ask him. We need to have him on anyway, especially now that Jared's such an admirer that I never knew Jared had pictures of Greg Braggs on his wall.
I do.
Do you listen to music while you're looking at him? Like when we're not around?
No.
All right. No candles near it?
No candles.
In your man cave, you have pictures of Greg. This is
I will post them. I will take pictures of the pictures in question.
I don't want the one of him in the Speedo and the shovel.
No, these are the pictures in question.
I mean, you're my boy, and I'm proud of you that you've been able to tell us this tonight on the show. This is what the show does. It breaks down walls.
That's right.
And Greg obviously took the bricks away from your heart and got in there. That's power, man. That's the power of social media. That's the
nice
power.
analogy.
He really cemented himself.
Ooh.
There's a soft pony that I didn't know about. I'm proud of you, bro.
Hey, I'm a doughboy. On that,
we need to now we need to make Jared a Greg Braggs T-shirt with just like the old.
That'd be a big shirt, boys.
No,
make one. Why don't we just buy a Braggs in the Stands T-shirt and send it to you?
No, I mean Greg's face on a T-shirt for Jared.
Oh,
tie-dye it.
Like those corny 80s T-shirts where people used to put like photographs on their shirts, family photographs and shit.
Oh my god.
We're gonna hook it up.
All right, fucking end this.
Greg, we're gonna have you on because I really didn't realize how big of a fan Jared was. Like, we need to do this for Jared. You're gonna be blushing the whole time, aren't you?
He's deep red right now. Look at him.
He's trying not to lay my ass out verbally right now. All right, guys. Yeah, it's been a especially with how the season's gone. This has been fun tonight. But yeah,
yes,
just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
Brady.
What?
The Braggs on the walls. The Braggs on the walls.
He just disrespected the
Braggs on the walls.
No, I'm talking about the Brady comment. My God.
See you, Greg. See you, Chad.